So slavery happened around the world everywhere.
So wait, are you trying to like say that like white people were slaves too?
Yeah, white people were also slaves.
That's where the term slave comes from, is the Slavic region.
Exactly.
That's why Eastern Europeans are so oppressed even within Europe.
I don't know, but I didn't see them oppressed over here that much. Like, I don't know.
Welcome back, Patriots. We have a wild clip here from the Whatever podcast that shows how ignorant these woke leftists are and just how brainwashed they are from the education system and the indoctrination that's been conducted through their entire life. I think it's going to speak for itself regarding the slave trade as well as just the history of it all. Let's roll it.
How have you arrived at that conclusion?
That's a good question. I don't know, just hearing like all the stories about like all this messed up stuff they did in the past. Like, I'm not even black, but I have a grudge against them.
Well, wait, but you're part white. You're part white.
Can I just take? Can we go down this path? Mm-hmm. What stories are you referring to in particular?
I don't know, just learning stuff in history. Like,
are you referring to
Hold on a
slavery?
second. Can we just?
Exactly.
Are you referring to slavery?
Yeah, and just like the treatment of them over time since then, like all the discrimination.
Do you think that white people were the only ones who engaged in slavery?
Probably not. That's probably around the world too.
Do you think that maybe the fact that you don't know that everybody engaged in slavery is part of the reason why you think the way that you do about this?
I don't know. I don't think it has to do with my worldviews. I think it has to do with the insecurity in myself. I don't like the white part of me, so I kind of project that onto others, probably.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a pretty self-aware thing to say. But like, just in terms of your like knowledge, how do you think that like the transatlantic slave trade? How do you think they went about getting slaves? Like, what do you think the process was?
Didn't they go up like that's part of America, right? They like went into Africa and stole them from their homes.
Yeah. So you think that they just went to Africa and then like rounded them all up and like caught them, put them in sacks, and then put them on the boat?
That's pretty much the gist of what I got out of.
So the reality of it is, and like it's not your fault for not knowing this. Our education system is so flawed that
It kind of is her fault. Yeah, we can't rely on the education system to teach us everything, and there definitely is indoctrination and brainwashing taking place, clearly. But like Benjamin Franklin said, we're all born into this world ignorant, but it takes one to work really hard to stay stupid. And that's exactly what's on full display and has been on full display from these progressive lefties for a long ass time. And damn, just read a book for once. Holy lordy.
the Africans who were sold in the slave trade were sold by other Africans. So there were slave markets in Africa where they would capture their own people, then sell them off overseas. And there was also the Barbary slave trade as well, which was like Arabic Barbary pirates who would capture white Europeans and enslave them too. And there was like
not just enslave them, but hell, they would kill them at times as well.
Over 1 million white Europeans that were enslaved during the Barbary slave trade. And the Arabics were particularly brutal because they used to castrate the men. Right. And then if they were ever to be caught by like another ship, they would chuck them all overboard, slit their throats and chuck them overboard. So slavery happened around the world everywhere.
So wait, are you trying to like say that like white people were slaves too?
Yeah, white people were also slaves.
That's where the term slave comes from, is the Slavic region.
Exactly.
That's why Eastern Europeans are so oppressed even.
Folks, it just shows you how bad it is when you have these activist teachers, not teachers, activist teachers that are promulgating a specific narrative, revisionist history, or only giving you a piece of history to promulgate a narrative that caters to their viewpoint, which is why this person with the dog collar, the tats, you know, the tight clothing, just all this stuff has been completely brainwashed, and her entire worldview is completely being shattered by this guy that clearly has his head on straight regarding history. It's just insane that these people roam around and don't have a clue what actually happened in history, and then blame the United States for everything when everybody else practiced the same type of evil.
I don't know, but I didn't see them oppressed over here that much. Like, I don't know. In history, I don't see books talking about the oppression of white people.
Yeah,
Why do you think that
problem.
is? Why do you think that is?
Because it's a massive problem, and again, it just shows you when you let the left, the Democrat Party, run the education system, you're only getting one worldview, and that's why when they even teach about the Civil War, oh, it's just about the North and South. No, it wasn't. It's about the Democratic North, the Democratic South versus the Republican North. That's what it was about. We don't ever want to be specific, because when we're so specific, it makes the Democrat Party look real bad.
Schools push it.
Why do they leave out white people being a victim of slavery in history? I feel like we only learn like U.S. history mostly. Like, that's what I learned.
There was also
more.
racism against white people throughout the country as well. The Italians faced persecution. Every iteration of a new immigrant faced, Irish and then the Scottish.
Holocaust?
You know how people make fun of the South? You know how people make fun of that accent or whatever? That's a Scottish accent. It comes from they settled in the Appalachian regions. The hillbilly terms comes from the Billy Boys of
You read your
Scotland.
Thomas Sowell, hey?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, he's talking about Thomas Sowell's book. Was it White Rednecks, Black Liberals, or something like that? It's a great book. I read it myself. I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but that's what he's referring to right now. It's Thomas Sowell's book.
No? Okay.
So I'm like, there has been racism. Basically, it's tribalism. Basically, like everyone basically says, "This is my tribe. I'm against that one. This is my tribe. I'm against that one." The most evident and also the most culturally obvious one is between white and black people. But it's like, what is your definition of whiteness, which is always contested, and also when it comes to blackness, what constitutes blackness, which is another contested question.
Right, because white comes from a long line of like the Irish and all that.
And like she said before, the word slave comes from the Slavic people.
Yeah.
So
I'd also like to clarify a question with you.
Go ahead.
Folks, it's just wild what we're seeing from the progressive left. And it makes sense why they vote a specific way, why they have specific actions. And quite frankly, they just don't think about things. They don't read books. They don't expand their viewpoints. And that's why I didn't agree with that gentleman of like, oh, well, it's fine that you're staying dumb, you're staying ignorant. We should all be trying to progress our knowledge about history so that history doesn't repeat itself, so we can better ourselves, not just on a moral level, but also an intellectual level. Just let me know what you think about this one in the comment section, because for me, it was completely head spinning. A lot of these Democrats, a lot of these lefties have this specific worldview. What do you think about this in the comment section? How the hell do we fix it? Would love to hear from you. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed our video. If you enjoy our channel, think about becoming a member over here. And folks, I'll see you next time here on The Bo Brat Show.